Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to The Blind Life. Today we're going to be talking about how to start a YouTube channel with vision impairment. So I get this question quite a bit actually. Over the years I've gotten this question a lot, and I've actually made a video once before talking about YouTube, creating a YouTube channel with vision loss, but it was more just an overall general video talking about cameras and lighting and audio and that kind of stuff, and I never really got into the meat and the potatoes of how to do it with vision loss, like how to make sure you're lined up in the shot, how to edit, all that crap. I've never done it. I never did a video specifically about that. So that's what today's video is about. Now, disclaimer before we get started, this is just a couple tips that I have kind of come up with along the way. This is by no means the end all be all. This is the way you need to do it. Hopefully this just encourages you to get started. That's the main thing, just get started. And to think creatively, because just like anything with vision loss, your everyday life, we have to think creatively to accomplish the same things that everybody else does. And so creating a YouTube channel is no different at all. Now also, before we get started, I want to thank recently a viewer asked this question. Her name was Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. But as I said, I've gotten this question many times over the years. She just happened to be the most recent and kind of prompted me to make this video. So thank you, Lauren. My first tip, and the most important tip for this and everything in life, you guys know, it's creating systems. And so, systems for creating your YouTube channel. One of the biggest challenges when doing a YouTube video is setting up the camera, making sure you're in the shot, making sure you're lined up, that sort of thing. It's very difficult if you can't see the little tiny screen on the back of the camera, or you can't see the phone screen to know if you're lined up. So this is where creating systems is going to help tremendously. And the first system has to do with setting up the camera. So one of the challenges of regarding setting up the camera and everything is it needs to be repeatable. You need to do this. Nobody makes it, well, at least if you want to be successful on YouTube, you're not just going to make one video and that's it. I'm done. I did it. Check the box. You got to keep doing it over and over again, sometimes several times a week. One trick that I tell people all the time is to do it in front of a window, right? Set your camera up in front of a window. That's where I am currently. I'm in my little office area. I've got a big window right behind the camera there, and it's making nice bright light on me. So I don't have to worry about getting a light stand and LEDs and light panels and soft boxes and all that junk. I mean, you can do that, but you don't have to. Just find a nice bright window. Now, when it comes to setting up the camera, I have a trick. Now this trick, you will need a sighted friend or relative or loved one, someone to help you set it up the first time, but the goal is that once it's set up, you don't have to have them help you every time. It's repeatable. You'll be able to set it up after that point yourself independently and not have to go find somebody every time you want to record a video. So one option, if possible, is you could have some kind of mounted arm, tripod arm on a desk. Very similar to a monitor mount for a desk, but one that will hold your camera. That way it's going to be in the same position, it's going to be in the same location every single time, and you'll be able to repeat it over and over again very easily. So that's one option, option number one. All right, option number two, which is one of my favorites, is to use landmarks for positioning your tripod. Now, what that means is you can use furniture or a wall or something like that to place your tripod in the exact same position every single time. Tripods have 3 feet, 3 legs, 3 feet, so use that to your advantage. Like this, for example, I have one of the legs of my tripod placed into the space between these two cabinets, and the other two tripod legs are pressed up against the two cabinets. So it can only sit there one way, and I can recreate that time and time and time and time again. Then, because my tripod is locked down, the tripod head is locked down, and I'm using that quick release plate on my camera, nothing changes about this setup. This setup is exactly the same every time I do it. So the camera's pointed the same direction, it's at the same height, everything is exactly the same each time I set it up. As long as I don't change the length of the legs or move that head at all, I'm golden. It's gonna be the same every single time. So modern day tripods are great because they have quick release plates. These plates are these little plates that screw into the bottom of your camera, and it just sits on the bottom of the camera, and it makes it really easy to attach your camera to the tripod. Makes it easy to pull on and off. So with this plate on your camera, you can lock your tripod down to where it won't move, and then just put your camera back on, and it's going to be pointed in the same direction that it was the last time it was on the tripod. And then once your camera is in position, getting yourself in position is pretty easy. I mean, even with my eyes closed, I just feel the camera, feel which way the lens is pointing. I mean, the lens is a cylinder, so you can tell which direction it's pointing just by feeling it. So I just make sure that it's lined up with me, and I'm just gonna scoot back a little bit so that I know I'm definitely in the shot. And the height of the tripod and the camera hasn't changed. It's in the exact same position it always is because of our system with the tripod. So I know, like I said, I know I'm gonna be in the shot if I just make sure I'm perfectly straight in front of it. And then I can make my video. Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to The Blind Life. Okay, so the landmarks that you use for positioning your tripod could be anything. You know, I've got this set up here where it's in between these two pieces of furniture, but a really good option would be to put one of the tripod legs in the corner of a room and then have the other leg up against one of the two walls. And then you sit along that wall a little bit further down. That way you know it's pointed right at you every single time, and once again, it's a repeatable system. Now, one trick that goes along with recording your footage and editing is I always try to shoot wide, because when I get my footage back into my editing software and I'm on my computer and I can zoom in really big and I can see it better, then I can position my shot. I can align my shot the way that I wanted it in the first place. I can do that in the editing software because I shot wide. You know what I mean? I can crop in and get my positioning better, my composition better. All right, so you got the camera where it needs to be, you're in the shot, you're giving your content, you're making amazing videos. What about editing? One trick that I learned from, it may have been on the Fritz. I'll double check that, and if I'm wrong about that, I'll put a little message on the screen. But she was talking about making her videos, and she talked about using audible cues when she's recording so that she can then edit by those audible cues. And that's fantastic. I do that myself. Whenever I'm editing, I'm actually looking at the audio wave. I'm editing the audio wave. I'm not even looking at the video. And so you can use that to your advantage by, for example, calling out the beginning and the end of a clip. So if I'm sitting down and I'm getting ready to record a clip here, then I can, when I'm ready, I can say action, or I can clap 3 times, and then I can start deliver the message. So for example, it'd be like, okay, we're good. All right. me. Okay, here we go. Action. Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel. And then when I'm done, I could say, Alright guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Cut. And then when I'm editing, I know that when I say action, right split second, a couple frames after the word action, I can make my cut and that's where my video starts. And I don't need to worry about it because I know that's where it starts. And at the end, as soon as I say cut, just before that word, I can make a cut on my video and that's the end of the video. So just giving yourself little audible cues, it's going to make it much easier later on when you do your editing. Now regarding editing, software is what's going to work the best for visually impaired. I don't know. That's completely subjective. I personally use Davinci Resolve. I think it's a fantastic editing software, but I'm also editing on my big 40-inch monitor and it's nice and big and I zoom in so I can see everything. Some people will record on their cell phone and do all the editing right on their smartphone, whether that's on an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android phone. There's some great editing apps that allow you to do everything you want to, and you could probably use your screen reader to do that. I don't do that because I need to be able to see it and I need to make it nice and big, and those tiny little screens are just too small for me. Okay guys, so I hope that gave you some ideas about how you can start a YouTube channel even if you are visually impaired. The main thing is to get started. Just do it. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to help out. Check out my other video on the topic of creating a YouTube channel. I'll have a link in the description and popping out on the card right above me. If you liked the video, you found it helpful, be sure to help out the channel by hitting the like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you will stay up to date with all the videos I put out in the future. As always, thank you guys again. Sam with The Blind Life. I'll see you next time.